Hello everybody. Well, you can see my Lily is wanting out, and Lily actually shed. So yeah, she's been stuck in there by her own choice for a few weeks. It takes Lily to shed, and I was watching her, and I watched her settle down after she shed, and I was going in to get her shed, and instead she has decided to come to the door. So I'm going to open it. Lily, your friend Jessie is out, and Jessie's a boy, and we know what happens, don't we? And Mum then needs to keep her eyes very much on you and him at the same time to not do naughty things, okay? No naughty stuff, and I know you probably won't because well, she's not really that keen on Jessie, but she has got to know Jessie last year, so things may be a little bit different this year. You're going to show your beautiful face, and yeah, nice and shed out, and all is off and perfect. And like I said, I can see her shed hanging there, so I will get that out. But as a follow-on from the video that I've done of Jessie about breeder snakes, I want to follow that up with a story which may tell you a lot about what I was talking about, and yeah, just why my heart breaks a little bit with the life that they do live. But okay, the story goes, and this is from another person here on YouTube that is quite a big breeder of ball pythons. A lot of ball python videos, not many carpet python videos, but lots of ball python videos. And to me, as I've said, they might be a species, but a snake is still a snake in my eyes, no matter the species. So the story goes, an older breeder snake of roughly 8 years of age, and no longer a part of the breeding program, you could say, which happens with breeder snakes, right? They get to a stage age in their life where they're no longer needed. I won't put the word there, well, they're not wanted, because I'll get slammed for that. You make up your own mind. But okay, they're no longer needed. So this 8-year-old female is given to some people that want to have her as a pet in their life. Now, she's not defensive, she is not hard to handle at all, she is quite a good girl, and of course they want to put her into something with enrichment and space and things to enjoy. Now, do you know where this is going? Because most of us who know snakes very well should pretty much know where this story is going. But anyway, if you don't, so they take her home and they put her into her new home, and I would have done it differently myself, personally, knowing what I know. But even if I were a breeder, I'd have probably given this information out before she went as well. I think that would have been the right thing to do by the new people taking her. But they get her home and they put her in this beautiful enclosure with everything she could possibly need and enjoy, you could say. And she doesn't eat. And weeks go by and she still won't eat. Now, I don't know about any of her other behaviour, whether she spent a lot of time hiding and they didn't see her, or she was showing agitation in her enclosure. I doubt it. You know, I really doubt that. I think if anything, she was tucked away in a hide and rarely showed herself. But anyway, more time went on and more time went on until the new people that had her started to become worried. So I do not know the length of time. I wish I did, but I don't. But she would not eat for them, and they were really, really concerned for her well-being, as you would be. So in the end, even though they went back to the breeder and asked questions, and I guess may have been offered advice, well, should have been, and I would say was. Well, I'm covering all bases here so I don't put my big foot in my big mouth, but I think they tried everything apart from maybe some things I may have added in, and maybe the things I added in wouldn't have worked either. I don't know, and like I said, I don't know what advice was offered. But eventually that breeder decided to, look, you know, I'll take her back and I will keep her, which is fabulous. Good on you and well done. And you didn't leave them with a snake that they were stressed and worried about. And I might go up to Jessie, because Lily hasn't, you know, she's done a typical, I want the door open, but I don't particularly want to come out. Jessie's doing a little bit more moving up there, at least at this point. Lily is going back into her hide, which she won't stay in, honestly. That's not her thing, as you can see, that little nose coming out. So gets this breeder snake back, and I'll call it a breeder snake because that's exactly what she was. She was not a pet. She was not in any way brought up with human interaction or any stimulation and so forth. And she goes back into her tub and boom. I think it was even that night or the next day, she got a feed and she fed. And the person's response to that was, see, ball pythons like small, dark spaces. They don't like this sort of thing in their life. They don't, that stresses them out. And if I could have jumped through the screen and stood next to this person at the time and just had my words at the time, but I couldn't do that. And I've waited a while to do this video since I saw that video. But I would have looked at him and said, is that it? Is that your answer? Is that your response? Is that your reasoning behind why she didn't eat? Your head could not even go in the direction of saying, well, all she's ever known is a tub. All she has ever known is this small, dark space. She is not used to something like this at all, and it would stress her out. It would be a bother to her, and after 8 years, it would be small steps to get her to be comfortable in a bigger space. It's about the life she'd already led as to why she didn't like this space. After 8 years, she's not going to like Sunny Do. She isn't going to like a big space. You know, even the size of Maya's over there, she wouldn't have liked. But that is because she's been a breeder snake and stuck in a tub for eight, I want to say, damn years. What do you expect? What would anybody expect from that snake? And it isn't about the fact that she didn't need it. It was the fact that it terrified her. And it terrified her because of 8 years in a dark hole. That's why. But that's not how it was said. And that made me really, really, really angry. It should never have been said like that. It should have been said, well, if she'd been brought up in an enclosure with all the nice things and the branches and everything, she would have adapted really well. And she'd have loved it, and she'd have really liked it. But the reason why she doesn't is because she's been brought up in a dark hole. Box. A dark little box. So say it like it is. Don't say it that she didn't need this. See, she doesn't need that. She doesn't like that. She likes this little small dark box. Of course she does. Absolutely she does. Because she's never known any different her whole life, and now she gets to spend her entire life living in that environment with nothing until she dies because of what she's been conditioned to by a human, and was never ever offered life to enjoy, enrichment, stimulation, things to explore. And ball pythons will. Ball pythons, like my carpet pythons, will. And I know this is visually very, very boring, but I hope the conversation wasn't. I hope the conversation makes you stop and think about it. And if people are thinking, man, you're stirring up a hornet's nest, you're well, I'm not a snake nest. You're stirring up where animal rights and so forth are going to be, you know, that I am some sort of an animal rightist person. And I'm not. I don't agree with a lot of them at all. I do not agree with to the degree that they go. But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we should never be able to keep, excuse me, so I'm burping a bit here. I'm not saying we can never or should never be allowed to keep them. I am not saying that at all. I think we should be able to. And I think there's great reasons as to why we should be allowed to. I think there are benefits and all the rest of it. And I think there are great benefits that we have breeders out there so that these are born in captivity. They're not taken from the wild. So breeders are very, very necessary. But the con of snakes being breeder snakes is what it is. Carpet pythons too are kept in tubs. My goodness, I don't like it, and they're not meant to be in a tub. You don't keep your green pipe. I don't know. Why do some get special treatment, like I've said, and others don't? Why isn't it across the board that they should all get special treatment in their life? Why shouldn't they? because they deserve it. Because we have taken them out of their natural environment, we've put them into an artificial environment. We supply their heat and their food when we decide to give them food, and not always necessarily when they're hungry. And if you know your snake very well, you know when they're hungry and when they're not, and you will give them food. I know some snakes will eat every week and really don't need to, but then you know not to do that. But out in the wild they wouldn't have that availability, because would they be coming across prey every week? So there's many things around that I could discuss as well, because we do overfeed our snakes. Well, some people overfeed their snakes, and some people look at my Jessie and my Tessa and think, oh, she must have really fed those snakes. Well, I can tell you I did not, because I am not a believer in that, and I don't feed my snakes up to get them fat to breed, and all the rest of it either, because I don't breed. And looking at the world of breed, I don't think I really ever want to. There are some smaller breeders out there that do an amazing job breeding their snakes, and also offering them lots of enrichment and different things in their life as well. And I commend them, and I would like more people to buy their new snake from these people who put much more into each individual snake than a massive breeder does. And boy, maybe I'll cop flack on that one too. I don't know, and I really don't care, because in the scheme of things, so what? So what? If a big breeder comes at me and says, how dare you, and you are wrong, and I welcome it. I truly welcome it, because in honesty, I've got so much comeback, and I will have an answer to everything and a reasoning behind everything, because I stand for what I do, and I wouldn't discuss it if I felt in any way that it was wrong. And as I've said, it's all about the snakes. It's not about me. I don't give two hoots about me and what anybody might think of me, because of where I'm going with my channel. Where am I going with my channel? I don't always want to talk about negativity or being negative towards something, and it'll be something. It won't be a person. It won't be a singular. Never one individual would I ever point this to in any of my videos. But where I'm going with my channel is I'm going to be standing up for snakes in captivity and their rights and what they deserve. And I'm going to be talking about the things that they're not getting, that they do deserve, and what I see that is wrong and shouldn't be for them. That's where I'm going with my channel now. Yes, I'll show you the in-betweens and the bits and pieces, and my snakes enjoying themselves and learning things and doing things. But I'm going to be talking about things that people don't and should be. So on that note, guys, I love you all, and thank you all for watching my channel. Even when I'm ranting and talking about things people don't want to know or hear about. So Take care, hey. Ciao.